What if oxygen is poisonous and it just takes 75 to 100 years to kill us? We're all just so rusty. Science boys. New study found that cats like to eat noses. Me and the boys. There is a new study that says when a woman sits on a guy's hip when he is doing a chest press, his testosterone rises up about 97%, which promotes strength and muscle growth. Yeah, science! Hey Tumblr witches, can one of you teach me to cast Fireball so I can end my boss? Dissolve some styrofoam in gasoline. It makes napalm. Now hold on, isn't that more science than magic? Or is there a lesson you're trying to teach here about the two? Potion of explode your boss. Crow shares intelligence about enemies. That's him, my science teacher, escaping from the science lab after someone mixed water and salt without putting their safety goggles on. Biologist here, why are plants green? Well, they suck up air from the sky, blue, and mix it with the sunlight, yellow. I love science. Every time I see this post, I fly into an incandescent rage because it's very almost true, and it shouldn't be, and I hate the way OP explains it. What people remember from Bill Nye the Science Guy, what he taught, the theme song. Why is that ship named 3.14? It's because it's full of pirates. If neurons wore pants, would they wear them like this or like this? Top. Medieval woman finds a cure for cancer using science. Witch hunters nearby. Whales are pretty big. Source? Blue whale. Total length? Pretty big. Today I learned that a chimpanzee became the 22nd most successful money manager on Wall Street after choosing stocks by throwing darts at a board of 133 tech companies. Economics are a science. Economics is just astrology for men. Today my chemistry teacher burned $1 in front of us, but he forgot to tell us that the dollar wouldn't burn. Only the alcohol would. So he took out a $100 bill and soaked it in alcohol, and we were like, "What are you doing?" And he caught it on fire, and we all yelled at him, but then it went out, and then the bill was fine, and then we were silent for 20 minutes. How to get your class to shut up for the entire period? Science teacher edition. Your IQ is 64. Is there anything in science I can do with an IQ of 64? It is my favorite subject. Could be the test subject. Science versus engineering. That's one small step for a man, one giant leap for humanity. Yo, what up, Earthlings? I'm on Mars, let's go. Forbidden swimming pool. It's actually pretty safe to swim in the pools as long as you don't dive too deep. I got this picture from What If books, where the author answers a ton of really absurd and funny questions using the science as we currently understand it. But just to be sure, I get in touch with a friend of mine who works at a research reactor and asked him what he thought would happen to you if you tried to swim in their radiation containment pool. In our reactor? He thought about it for a moment. You'd die pretty quickly before reaching the water from gunshot wounds. Why is it a bad idea to major in physics? The math is hard. You'll never enjoy action movies again, as you'll always notice the wrong physics. The science teacher who is going to teach the class about cells. The kid that knows everything about cells because his dad is living in one. Who would win? A powerful nucleus in the brain that regulates circadian rhythms. One glowy boy. Did you know type O blood was actually meant to be type 0 blood? Due to the lack of glycoproteins in the red blood cells, it was misread and is now called type O blood. I guess you could call it a typo. I showed this to my biology professor and she cried. Being really into history is cooler than being into math or science. Someone who likes math and science is called a math nerd or a science geek, but someone who likes history is called a history buff because of their strong, sensual arms. We have to be buff to carry the weight of history's sins all the time. Science sins are pretty bad too. When you choose an academically challenging degree and get academically challenged, periodic table with real elements in it. I hate science, but I want it. Why do you hate science? I kind of like this exam question. There's something that you spent time studying that wasn't asked on the exam. What is it and how does it work? Explain in detail. Take this proton. I'm not asking. Please, somebody take this proton off me. How to stop deer from colliding with cars. Bring in wolves. And science is one cold-hearted witch with a 14-inch whoa. After being married for 7 years, a Brazilian couple and her husband found out they were actually brothers and sisters whose mothers left them in their infancy. And that, kids, is How I Met Your Mother/Aunt. According to science, Robert Pattinson is the most attractive man in the world. He's not ugly, but the most attractive? A historical retrospective on the phrase, trust the science. They promoted smoking cigarettes, DDT, I don't know what that is, heroin, asbestos. I bring a sort of eating 40 million krill vibe to dinner that 40 million krill don't really like. Yeah, science. Cork, vegetable oil, ice cube, grape, water, corn syrup, small rock. Atheists, when they see a praying mantis instead of a science and hypothesis mantis. Parents starving her 10-year-old, giving her diet food. This is diet culture. Someone called child services on her.
Science doesn't matter.
Can you name this fruit? Yes, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. How about Danny? Atheists, when they accidentally say holy frick instead of science frick. Egypt, 3000 BCE. Hey, if If you let electric eels shock you, it helps with pain. 5,000 years later. Hey, wait, we can use electricity to interrupt nerve signals and relieve pain. The ghost of two ancient Egyptian doctors giving them each other a high five of vindication took them long enough. Also the modern era. We don't need science to use pain. I got homeopathy and essential oils. The ghost of two ancient Egyptian doctors. Oh my god, Karen, do some research. Come on guys, it's not rocket science. Come on guys, it's not music theory. When you're watching a science fiction movie and suddenly an alien kills a dog, the more biotech science you know, the less you fear GMO crops. Study Finds Genetic Literacy Project. The more you understand science, the less you're afraid of the products of science. Who knew? With computer software, it's the other way around. It has taken medical science 200 years to advance humans to a point where they are so healthy and living so long that they deny science and the medicine what got us here. If cats always land on their feet and toast always lands butter side down, what happens if you strap buttered toast to a cat's back and drop it? DNA, this, and then this. I believe in science. I also believe 55 degrees in October is colder than 55 degrees in April. Gay as hell to be a mad scientist. What are you mad about? Men? You're just crazy about men. I hear science is a man-dominated field. Is that what you want? To be dominated by other men? Thinking about moving into that chloroplast apartment complex. Rent's high there. You versus the guy she told you not to worry about. Space and matter is made of energies and vibrations. No, stop believing in this astrology crap. Space and matter is made of energies and vibrations. Doctors in medical field. Doctors of computer science. Googling things they don't remember about their field. Science failed to explain this. And you failed to explain it too. The science teacher saying that the three states of matter are solid, gas, and liquid. The smart kid saying that plasma is also a state of matter. Me who knows that there are other states like New York, Washington, Alabama, Florida. Electricity is invented. People. So how will you measure it? Science? The what? Science fact. It's impossible for a man to strap down any kind of load in a trailer without saying, "That's not going anywhere," as he tightens the rope. Dogs are now petting other dogs. Humans rendered useless. Has science gone too far? Pig brains partially revived hours after death. What it means for people. Ah, sweet. Man-made horrors beyond my comprehension. The pure element sodium is a bright silvery metal that explodes on contact water. This sodium has been made into the shape of a duck for absolutely no good reason. Show us the duck. The moon has no light of its own. It reflects the sunlight. Science saves lives. This wandering meatloaf creature has a rare mineral in its teeth. Wandering meatloaf creature has teeth of iron. He was just a scientist doing science things. Who cares if he melted a few dozen kids? It was for science. Dr. Louis Sayre, treating scoliosis, checking the curvature of the spine, 1870s. You sure he's looking at the spine? Looks like he's, not looking at a spine. Science class, when I mix salt and water without my safety goggles. Okay, I'm gonna get this engineering degree. Damn, engineering got hands. Who radicalized you? When they said to trust the science, and then asked for the science to be kept secret for 75 years. Sci-fi writers, acids, bases, virus enters the body, the immune system. Either the virus goes or everyone goes. Regular teacher, school librarian. History teacher, science teacher. Knock knock. Who's there? Do ya? Do you who? Do you want to be my girlfriend? Yeah, I think I might. Killer whales are not our friends. By Jacob Stone. Okay. In 1997, 14-year-old Nathan Zoner got 43 out of 50 ninth graders to vote in favor of banning dihydrogen monoxide, also known as water. The hoax was a science fair project, which he titled, "How Gullible Are We?" He not only won the science fair, but also inspired the term zonerism, defined as the use of a fact to lead a scientifically ignorant public to a false conclusion. I love science! Is handed peer-reviewed journal. No, I meant CGI pictures of space with misattributed quotes as captions. The earth is flat. You have enough rocks, but I don't have these rocks. Sexually frustrated sea snakes mistake scuba divers for potential mates. Alien hammerhead flatworm named after pandemic. Remember when you thought university would be easier than school because you're just doing one subject you enjoy? Figure 1. Overused animal cliches. Happy as a clam, free as a bird. Sad as a sea cucumber that has expelled its internal organs as a defense mechanism, only to find out it was a false alarm. Cations are positive. Protons have mass. I didn't even know they were Catholic. Obsessed with this stupid shirt I found at Goodwill the other day. Talking to my ex. Hi, what's up? Talking to my wife. Hi, what's up? Talking to my cousin. What? Oh. Be a scientist in 1847. Create the chocolate bar. Want to test if humans and animals can eat it. Try it, not dead. Feed it to science doggo. Guys, I've made a groundbreaking discovery. A mother duck and her family on a walk in Paris. A woman keeps them safe and guides guides them to water. I love the synchronized French dudes pointing her to the nearest water. 2 of these people are actual scientists. One of them just plays on TV. I mean, Bill Nye never really claimed to be like that, you know? He's a very good teacher though for children. I like him. Stop the Bill Nye hate. My science teacher just asked, what's the opposite of based? And I answered, cringe. The answer was acidic. I'm going to hurt myself. Engineer. Engifar. Post your favorite in green. Stokes theorem. My fave. The day mitochondria went from being powerhouse of the cell to the ATP synthesis by oxidative phosphorylation was the horrible day that brought me trust issues. You versus the guy she tells you not to worry about. Wait, so you think stars can predict your future? Well, yes. Me, science. I think astrology does have some truth to it, but obviously not about everything. Declaration of Independence flagged as hate speech by Facebook. Benjamin, get the musket. I love science. Natural selection. This is unfair. The 17-year-old Boy Scout built a nuclear reactor in his mum's backyard 20 years ago that made the neighborhood radioactive. AI is totally safe and development should continue rapidly. Says genuine 100% human scientist. You're always there for me, babe. You're my rock. Science says I shouldn't be alive. This is what pure elemental sodium looks like. One time in school, my science teacher jokingly called me a bad boy. And I got in the mood and she saw, and then she told me to control myself. And I got even more in the mood, I had to switch classes. Control, man. After space station, China now has plans for a kilometer-long mega spaceship. Is this cosplay? Who are you? Who are you so wise in the ways of science? Just found out about Rick and Morty. This hits home. What people call love is just a chemical romance that compels animals to breed. It hits hard, then it slowly fades, leaving you stranded in a failing marriage. I did it. Your parents are gonna do it. Break the cycle. Rise above. Focus on the science. German doctors are attempting to reverse death and resurrect humans. German hacker turns 10 sausages into a working piano. Chemistry teacher. Did you know that protons have mass? I didn't even know they were Catholic. Chemistry teacher. Relative dating is the science of determining the relative order of past events. German cafe gives customers pool noodle. Has to ensure social distancing after reopening. Science. First step, mess around. Second step, find out. This guy in my political science class was watching Bob Ross's video and was following along in MS Paint. If you recognize them, science and history in elementary school was fun for you. I trust the science. The science says being fat is unhealthy. I don't think anyone disagrees with being overweight and means you're unhealthy. 6th grader swears his science homework was blown up by a Sidewinder missile. I think people should stop questioning the science. Questioning science is how you do science. My science teacher realized that they had nothing planned for the end of class, so they started fighting sans. Say goodbye to that waffle and spaghetti. Men commit over 85% of all homicides. Why? Nobody likes scientists. They like what science gives them, but not the questions. No, not the question that science asks. Actually, I have a question. That's why you're a scientist. 10-year-old me, preparing to tell my mum at 9 p.m. I need glue and construction paper for my project due tomorrow. In 6th grade, I forgot the science fair was the next day. 10 p.m. in panic, I find a loaf of molded bread my pops forgot to throw out. Made a study on mold, moisture, and air. Got 2nd place in the school, 5th in the city. Bread so moldy I was praised for conducting weeks of research. I'm finally graduating with my political science degree. I can't wait to be a server or barista. Teacher piss jugs. Safety concern? We have a science teacher pissing in jugs because he says he can't make it to the bathroom. He goes in the lab closet to do it, so it's not in front of the students, but I guess the kids have commented they can hear him pissing. He said there is nothing weird about pissing, but damn, even the janitor complained when she had to throw away over a dozen milk jugs of piss. Is this a safety issue? I want it to stop. Yeah, it is. I'm glad that bee hummingbirds hatch nests of eggs smaller than a pea. I'm glad that there are oceans 2 miles deep where fishes unknown to science glow like fireflies. I'm glad that the crumbs taken from my bedroom are returned to tiny cities built by ants, and that the thunder of the storms rolling in from the north trembles in my chest when it is still a ways off. Hello, says the world, you are so little. Hello, says the world, you are so big.